What's going on, guys? This is Wizard of Oz bringing you another Madden 20 video. It's a new year. A lot of people got the game for Christmas or things like that. They may have just gotten it because it's on sale. A lot of people are playing Madden for the first time and they may not know about sniping. So I wanted to make a video on sniping and update my previous one that came out maybe a month or two ago. But I wanted to come out and just go through, give a base snipe video for anyone that doesn't know how to do it. It is the best way to consistently make coins in Madden. It's very reliable. It's not risky like opening packs, or it's not like my last video that I released. There is a little bit of risk involved in that coin making method. Sniping, there is technically risk, but it is very, very minimal. The risk is basically that you buy a card, try and flip it, and the market goes absolutely insane, which very rarely happens. It's usually when a promo or a card gets announced or something, and you should be aware of those things if you follow me on Twitter or on my Discord. So right before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you do that down below. Hit the bell icon so you can see all my videos as soon as they come out. I come out with good coin making methods like this, Market Mondays, things like that, training points, really good stuff to take advantage of the market. Tips and tricks, gameplay, good videos that you're going to want to watch. So make sure you subscribe so you can see those. Okay, so I don't want this video to get too long because basically if you're talking about sniping, you can take a very long time, but I'm just going to walk you all through the basics of what I do, just sort of the basic strategy. I have a couple different strategies. I'll go over the main one that I use first. The method that I'm going to show later in the video is actually probably the best way if you really want to make big coins. It's just not, it doesn't hit as often as my method that I use. I like the consistency rather than the, every now and then you get a big one. But let me show you right here. So basically you go into the auction house, right? The first thing that you're going to want to do is go to the quality here, and it's going to depend on your coin stack. Let's say you have like under 10,000, somewhere very small. Okay, you're just starting out in the game, you don't have anything. You could definitely grow that by playing challenges, but sure, let's say you want to go into the auction house and grow it that way. So 76, 75s, all of these are all kind of selling for the same amount. The reason for that is because these all go into the same set. No one uses these cards actually on their team. They're all going to be the same price because they're all essentially the same value, 75 through 79. You see they're all selling for 22, 2300. So basically what you want to look at is go like on maybe the third row down and see what they're going for. So this is the base page. When anyone goes to a 75, 79, they're going with no filters. They're going to see this page and they're going to go in. They're saying, oh, I need training. I'm going to buy this. I'll buy them now and quick sell them for training. That is not what you want to do. That is the worst possible thing you can do, is assuming you don't want to spend more coins than you need to. But what you want to do as someone flipping cards is you want to take advantage of people not understanding the market, going on this first page and just buying the first card that they see. So if you go down like 3 rows or so, you can see they're going for like 23, 24. The reason I'm telling you to go down like 3 rows is because people will buy up all these cards. All of these cards right here, before they run out, they'll all be bought just about because people are going to want to put them in sets, use them for training or whatever. So if you're selling a card, you want to sell one down here on this third row or so. Like I would say sell one for 23, 2400. You're more than likely going to sell it. One thing you always want to consider when you're selling cards is the 10% tax. So if you end up putting a card up for 2400 and it sells for that 2400, you have to take away 10%. EA takes 10% on every sale, regardless how much it is. So 10% of 2400 is 240, right? So if you sell a card for 2400 coins, you're actually only getting 2160 coins. That's definitely very important to take into account of all of your snipes, all of your sales, whether you're just selling cards, whatever. Very important. So what you want to do is basically, so we can sell a card for 2400 based off of what we see here, right? So I'm going to go and use a filter and try and find something for more than 21 or less than 2160, excuse me, because 2160 is what we're going to get when we sell a card for 2400 after tax. So the most basic filter, and really the best filter in my opinion, is literally just going team by team. So essentially what you're doing with filters is you're narrowing it down. So when you look on that first main screen, you're not seeing every 75, 79 that's on the market. Like the servers just don't handle that. So what you want to do is you want to use filters to narrow it down and you get better prices. As you can see here, there were none going for 15, even 1800 on that main block, but there are here. And the reason for that is by using the filter. The filter that I'm using here is just a simple team by team filter. Very basic, but you can go team by team. You can find good deals. That's a really good one actually right there, 1000. So you do want to be careful with power-ups. Sometimes power-ups are a little bit weird, but they do quick sell for training just like the other ones. So you could buy this Anthony Muniz power-up here for 1000, go and sell them for 2400. You get your 2160. That's 1100 coin profit. That's really, really good. It might not seem like much, but if you do this like 7 or 8 times and you only have 8000, that's that's a 70% increase on what you had right there. So the little bits add up. The sniping methods that I use, usually I'm not going for that 100,000 amazing snipe because those are very rare. They do happen, but they're very rare. What I want to teach people is the consistent sniping methods that are really going to get you a lot of coins consistently. You can log on and use my methods like for 10 minutes, go play a few head-to-head games, let your card sell, go back and do some more sniping. But so let me walk through. So that's the basic idea though for the team by team. So 75, 79, I typically stay away from just because they're a little lower. They fluctuate a good bit. People are just weird with their 75, 79s, but you can find some pretty good ones. Sometimes people will drop them for 500, you'll get a good snipe. Now, moving on up into the elite categories, which is 80 to 81. Now, 80 to 81s are also in kind of a weird spot right now. Typically, the 81s are, of course, going to be a little bit more than the 80s. The reason that they're not necessarily right now is because of what I went over in my last video. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. I'll link that down below. But essentially, you can take an 80 and an 81 and put them in a set that's very useful for the coin making method that I went over in my last video. So 80 and 81s right now, similar to the 75 through 79s, everyone's just buying them to put into that set. So they essentially have the same value. Not many people are going to use 80 and 81s on their team at this point in the year. So essentially the same value. I'm not going to go over the filters on this just because it's pretty much the same as the 75, 79. And really 82 to 83 is similar, so I'm just going to skip right by that one. It's pretty much the same thing. So we're going to go to 84 to 85. This is really where you're going to be able to apply these methods and actually really get good snipes. You can find them in the smaller ones, but right now those sets, the 80, 81, 82, 83, they're all kind of weird because of some special sets that are going on. They'll revert back to normal eventually. You can snipe if you find good snipes in there, go ahead and do it. But I want to cover the little bit of higher ones right now. Okay, so just like we were saying with the golds and the 80 to 81s, what you want to do before you actually go and start sniping, go to the regular 84 to 85 screen to get a baseline of what the cards are selling for. As you can see, 84s here are selling for about 14,000. If you go down 3 rows or so, 14.75. I'd probably sell them for about 14.5 or so just to make sure it actually sells. Looks like that's pretty consistent. Let's see, where are the first 85s on here? And again, you got to realize when people are looking for cards for training or sets or whatever, a lot of times they just go on this first screen. So this is what they're going to buy. So 84 is 14.5, 85s probably about 17,000, 17.5, somewhere around there. So we'll say about 14,000 for 84s and 17,000 just for easy math on the 84 and 85. Now again, the reason that you want to get that baseline is because when you want to go sniping, you need to know what's a good deal. If you don't go and look at the baseline, what was a good deal last night or last week might not be a good deal tonight. The market's entirely based off of what people want to sell their cards for. So the market could go up, go down. It changes drastically when there's new series announcements, new cards announced, or when those cards actually drop, people are ripping pack. So 14,000, if you sold an 84 for 14,000, you would get 12,600 after the 10% tax. 85s, if you sold for 17,000, you'd have what, 15,300 after tax. So that's what you're looking for below when you're sniping. Let me know down in the comments if any of this doesn't make sense. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but sometimes it can get a little confusing. So again, 14,000. I'm gonna go look at 84s right now. Typically, because they're easier and they're always gonna be at the top of the page because they're cheaper, I like to do the even numbers, the 84s, 86, 88s. Those aren't always the best snipes. I'm just lazy and I don't always like scrolling down as I'm doing my team by team filter. But 14,000. So we're going to look for some snipes that are under 12,600. What you want to do, you don't want to buy something that's 12,500, right? Because that's just going to get you a 100 coin profit. You want to look for something that's like, say, 11,000. That's a 1,500 coin profit essentially, or even 10,000, something like that. If you're investing 11 or 12,000 or somewhere around in there, you want to get at least 1,000 or 2,000. That applies for the higher levels too, and we'll go over those once we get there. So again, 14,000, we're looking for under 12,600, okay? Anything under 12,600 will definitely, so this would be profitable. I'm not gonna buy it because it's only profitable by, say, 250 coins. That is not worth it. That's not worth to go and spend my coins. I could be using those coins for something better. So don't buy something just because it's immediately profitable. So look a little bit, you'll find some good stuff. One thing to keep in mind, these NFL playoff cards, you'll know their prices might be a little different. People are ripping packs right now for the NFL playoff cards, so their prices could be a little wonky. Just be aware if you're trying to snipe those, make sure that they're actually selling for what the 85 bases are on the main page. There might be something weird there, so just be aware of that. So essentially all you're really doing here is just going through every team, just checking all the filters, going and seeing if there's anything that would be profitable on here. I'm not having a whole lot of luck with 84s, 85s. Typically, these ones are pretty set in stone. People don't set them too low. There are a couple on here that have been profitable, but not profitable enough for me to want to go buy just because I don't want to have my money tied up in investment when I can find something better. So I'm not really finding a whole lot in the 84s, 85s. That's pretty typical. But as you can see here, if you go back to the main page, they've already changed. I could now sell 84s for about 15,000, which changes what is profitable. Some of those that I was saying weren't as profitable. They were probably about 1,000 now. So the market changes very quickly. Make sure you go back and check your baseline every now and then if you're doing a long sniper sesh. So let's go on up to the 86s, 87s, see if we can find an actually good thing to represent what I'm talking about. So if you go down on the 86s, they're selling for about 24. I would sell them for 24 just to kind of make sure you do sell. And usually when I say 24,000, I'll sell them for like 23,950. Just like, you know, if something's $8.99 instead of $9, it's like a mental thing and it's a little bit better. And it puts you in front of the other cards that are all selling for 24,000. 87s, 25. You can probably sell an 87 for 25.5 or somewhere around there. But again, to keep the math simple, we're going to say 86s, sell them for 24,000. And once you sell them for 24,000, you're getting 21,600 back. So again, 86s, anything under 21,600 is going to be a profit. So 18,000 here, right? 21,600 is 3,600 coins more. I'm going to buy this and sell it. Okay? So I'm going to put it up on the market, and the way that the market works. So I bought this one here. I'm going to auction them. 24,000 is what I said I'm going to put them up for. I'll put them up. I'm going to put them up for just under 24,000 because that's kind of the method I do. But it's 250. It's 150 coins. It's not that big of a difference. So the way that the market works is that's going to go up on there, and I put it up there for an hour. You want to put it up there for an hour, and you want to leave it on there for an hour. It might not sell until the last 5 minutes because essentially what's going to happen is your card will go into the market, and people aren't going to see it on this list here until that hour is almost up. As you can see, a lot of these are getting down to like under the 10-minute mark. Some of them are a little bit higher, but they'll go on here eventually. And once it goes on there, that's when, as you can see, people are always buying these up on the main screen because people go and they just buy these. These aren't, no, why would you buy that for 24,000? You could go and find that one for cheaper. So the way that that card that I just auctioned works is it's not going to be on this main screen right now. And the reason you want to leave it on for the full hour is because it will go on this main screen eventually, sometime in the last 10 minutes it's on the auction house. So unless you put it for way lower than you should have, it's probably not going to sell until those final 10 minutes. So make sure you leave it on for the full hour. That's really the only downside of sniping, is that it does sometimes take about an hour for the turnaround. That's why I say go and snipe for 10 minutes, get some good values, put them up on the auction house, go play a head-to-head game or two. By that time, your cards will have all sold. You can go back, take those profits, and reinvest it into the market. It's really, really simple. So 24,000, I put him up for 24, just under 24. Assuming he sells, he will go for 21.6. I bought him for 18,000. That's a 3,500 coin profit right there. That's really good. That's really, really good for a pretty small investment. And all I did was I just went by the simple, team. And it's the same guy. I'm gonna buy him. I'll take another 3,000. Why not? That's the main filter that I like to use. It's hardly even a filter because it's so simple. But it works really well, and a lot of the best snipers that are out there really use that filter, and it's one of their favorite. So I'm going to bounce up to the next category. I'm going to use a different filter here. Typically, I would go through all of them using that filter, but I'm going to show you a different filter here just so it doesn't get too repetitive. So now we're in the 88, 89 section. As you can see, just overall 88, 89s. Same thing, people are going to go in here. They're going to buy the lowest. They're going to assume 33.5 is the cheapest one. I can go and let's go to the Ravens. Ronnie Stanley right there was 33.5. Say you wanted Ronnie Stanley, he's almost 2,000 coins cheap right here. Not the cheapest card on there, not how it works. Just to illustrate, don't go on there and buy the cheapest one, even if you just need it for training. There's easier, better ways to do it. But let's go over a different sniping method now, okay? So again, regardless of what method you want to do, you want to get a good baseline. Let's look and see what we could sell an 88 for if we bought him. Probably about 35,000. I go about 3 rows down, because that's about the amount that'll get bought up easily. It might go a little lower depending on how active the market is. It's 10 o'clock at Eastern time right now, so it's a little slower. 6 or 7 Eastern time, it might be a little bit better. It just sort of depends. But anyway, so I'm going to say 35,000 is what we could sell an 88 for. So the method that I'm going to go over right now, instead of what I've been using before, is the default. It's the buy now price, and it just puts the lowest buy now price up at the top. That's the default that's on there. So what I want to go over now is instead the newest tab. And so as you can see here, you can see that, look at the time limit at the bottom left of the cards. You got 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 14. Clearly these are not the newest ones because there are people that have just put their card on the market for an hour. What you want to try and find is you want to get that clock to 59 minutes because that way you know you're actually seeing the newest ones. So again, 35,000 is what we're looking for, right, on 88s. So how do you get a 59-minute in there knowing that you're getting the newest? You should just filter it down. The easiest way to do that is, let's go to type. We'll go to all offense players. And instead of 14 minutes, we're now up to 23 minutes. So a little bit better, right? Now let's go to cap value. We go from 23 minutes to 45 minutes. A little bit better. But we still want to make sure we're getting 59 minutes because the point of this method is that as soon as somebody puts something that's too low on the market, let's say these are selling for 35,000, somebody accidentally puts it up for 3,500. That's a massive profit. You can grab that, right? That's what you're looking for in this method, and you're going to be going up against a lot of other people on the auction house trying to buy that card. If someone were to put a card up by accident for 3,500, there's going to be several people on that filter, I guarantee you, that are going to see that, and you're going to have to go in there and buy now really quick before they do. That's the point of this filter. This is the one that I don't typically use as consistently because it's not consistent. They're rare, not rare, but they're rarer that people will go and accidentally put something, they'll leave a zero off. It happens all the time, but it's harder to hit consistently, so I usually stay away from it. So again, the whole point of this is you're wanting to narrow it down to 59 minutes. A good way to do that is to go to a big program like Legends. Let's try flashbacks. Let's see if there's anything on there. So we narrowed down my flashbacks. Now we're on 59 minutes. So what this tells me is that's only 2 filters. I'm doing all players and flashbacks. There's a lot of flashbacks that are getting sold right now. What did I say? 88s were selling for 35,000, so that's what, 31,500. So it's 31,500. Anything under that's going to be profitable. So this one's profitable. Let's see, nothing really else. So this Jarvis Landry is almost 2,000 coins profitable. That's not quite good enough for me for investing 30,000 coins, but that's not bad if you want to take that. So what you want to do once you find a good filter that's at 58, 59 minutes, you want to go and refresh it. The easiest way to do that is to go to one of these categories that you don't have anything selected on, like team. Just hit all, and it'll refresh it. Give it a sec, 59 minutes. And I'm getting the newest cards, and if someone were to put theirs up on there they were trying to do 35, and they accidentally did 3,500 instead of 35,000, I will see that. Now, obviously, the better internet you have, the easier this is going to be. So if you don't have good internet, like I said in my previous sniping video, not a whole lot you can do about that, unfortunately. But you want another LaShawn McCoy just came up. That's pretty solid. That's I'll buy it if no one else bought him. See, someone else just bought him. I hesitated. You got to buy it right away. That was about a 4,000 coin profit. Not bad. There's someone else sitting on this filter. Let's see if I can get this one. Got that one. So I'm going to put them up for 34,950 and take about a 4,000 coin profit. Off of a 35,000 investment, and that's really not that bad. What you want to be careful of when sniping is getting a little too greedy and trying to sell cards for more. Let's say you were trying to sell them for 36 or 37,000. Now you might be able to do that, but if they don't sell, you might get stuck trying to sell them. The market is gonna go down. Like, just over time, it will go down. 88s were selling for 70,000 a month ago or so. Like, it drops just naturally as newer cards come out. It makes sense. These cards aren't as valuable anymore. But something to also be aware of is promos that are coming out. Team of the Week comes out early this week, whenever that is. I don't know. They haven't said exactly, but at some point, Team of the Year comes out, and that is going to drop the prices on a lot of cards significantly. Just something to keep in mind. So if you're sniping, Team of the Year is coming out tomorrow. They haven't announced any cards. The market hasn't been affected yet. If you're sniping the night before, you want to be careful, because if you don't sell those cards, they might be worth 5,000-6,000 less in the morning once the actual promo comes out. So just something to be aware of whenever you're sniping like this, whenever you're trying to flip cards around and not just investing for something like that. Just be aware that the card might have a completely different value in 12 hours than from what it has right now. So really the goal is to buy the card and sell it in that hour before the market changes too much. We're not getting a whole lot of activity on the flashbacks here. Let's go to heavyweights and see. No, heavyweights, let's see, 46 minutes. We can narrow it down a little bit more. A lot of defensive players on heavyweights. So let's see, just as many offensive, but yeah, that's decent. I'm not going to buy it though. Let's jump up to the 90-91 and see if we have a little more activity there. All right, so we're going up to 90-91. We got some legends, so we're going for 70. As you can see, the higher you get, the more fluctuation there's going to be, but the tax is going to be a lot bigger on here. So if you sell it for 80,000, you're now getting only 72,000. It's obviously, you know, percentage-wise, it gets bigger. So for 90s on here, I would probably sell, to be safe, I'd probably sell for 80,000 on the 90s. 91s, I don't know, 80, 85, 86, somewhere around in that range. But again, good to get a good base value. 80,000 is what I'm going to be looking for. So anything under 72,000 is profitable for me. I'm going to look at both different filters that I've covered in this video. So 80,000, looking for under 72,000 on 90. That is really good. 65,000 is really good because that is a 7,000 coin profit. Now you have to understand, I just invested 65,000 and I don't have any of those coins right now until this thing sells. So I'm going to put them up for 80. And it's pretty much going to take the full hour for this card to actually sell. That, again, so one of the main problems. So once that card sells, I have 7,000 more coins, or roughly, that I can put back into the market. So a little bit of investment for a pretty good deal. So let's go back. I took a second there explaining. So let me go check the base price on 90s again. See, they're dropping a little bit. They're dropping down to 75. I think 880 is still going to be a safe bet. But something to keep an eye on, especially if you're doing it later at night like this. It might slowly, the prices are going to drop more and more, or they might go up. It just kind of depends on what the market's doing at that time, but definitely something to be aware of. What I like to do when I'm sniping a card, let's say I'm planning on selling it for 80,000, I like to just assume that the worst, that maybe they're going to drop down to 75 like what they're doing now. I still want to buy something that would be, at worst case scenario, still profitable. So it's 75, what did I buy that one for? 60 something? So it's 70, like 61,000. So if I did have to go and sell him for 75,000, if he doesn't sell at the end of this hour, I'm still going to be profitable. I'm still going to get 68,000 roughly for the card, and that would be profitable. I don't remember what I spent on it, but I think it was less than 68,000. But prepare for the worst. In case that card doesn't sell, just don't have all your money invested in cards if you're only, you know, getting a 2,000 coin profit, especially if they're in the 90, 91 range. It's not worth the 1,000 coins there because that's too big of an investment. Let's look again. So I'm gonna look at 80,000. So 70, it's not too great. Again, worst case scenario, if that doesn't work out too much. Let's see, 72,000 is what we're looking for lower. That was 91. I don't remember what 91s we're going for. That's why I say I usually just do the even number because I'm too lazy. All right, 62,000. So 80,000, that would be a 10,000 coin profit. If he sells for 80, which I'm hoping he will at the end of the hour, he probably will, that'll be a 10,000 coin profit. Even if he drops some in value, I'll still be getting a couple thousand profit. It's not as big. It's not what I would have done originally, but you just want to cover your butt and make sure you're actually going to make money off of it and not be losing money off of too greedy of investments. So that's the method that I would normally use on 9091s. Let me go over this other method here that I was talking about where you buy the newest. Go back to the main. Let's see, they're still sticking around the same. They are dropping. They're dropping down to 75. So that other card I bought might not sell for 80 grand, but that's fine. I'll drop them down a little bit. It happens. It's something to be aware of. You're not always going to be able to sell them for what you're hoping for. So we're going to newest, 13 minutes. We're going to filter down by program. We'll go to Legends. Legends will give us 36 minutes, so a little bit better. Let's make it all offensive. And for all offensive, all right. These are brand new. These are all 58 minutes. So, 90s. Looking for, they're selling for 80,000, right? Look at this one. 59,000. That is the best one I found. It's really good. 59,000. So if I can sell this one for 80 grand, that's what, like a 13,000 coin profit? Somewhere around there. Even if he sells for less, that's really good. I wouldn't have gotten that one more than likely going around on my team to team. The problem with the team to team is that it takes a minute. You have to go through each team by team. So you're going to miss a lot of these ones that are put on for much lower than what they should be going for. Now, a lot of them here I'm noticing are going lower and lower and lower. That kind of is giving me an indication that the market is slowly dropping. And we're also not getting brand new ones anymore. These have been sitting on the market for 8 minutes. All right, let's narrow it down a bit more. What's our cat value? 20. Yeah, the cat value is in the top left. You can't hear it. I'll pull it up on the card. It's kind of hard to see. 24. That's just another way. That's for cap value and all that. So I don't really play that, but it's just another way to narrow it down a bit. So not getting a whole lot of movement. Let's switch it over to defense, actually. Nothing new here. 60,000 though. I'm gonna take it. you know, to put them up for 80. So I'll get a 12,000 coin profit if he sells for 80. If he doesn't sell for 80, I'm still gonna have a profit. I'll just sell them for 75 and take, you know, like a 5,000 coin profit instead. Not bad though. That's really what you're going for. The little stuff you want to nickel and dime yourself all the way up. I had 700,000 coins, somewhere around there at the beginning of this video. Earlier today, I had 600,000 coins after I sold Patrick Willis from my previous video. So I sniped my way up to 700,000 plus. Not a whole lot, 100,000 coins though, from basically just sitting there not doing much. Again, you can get on there, do it in 10 minutes. It's very, very quick. Go and play some head-to-head or just go watch Netflix, do something else. So definitely go work on sniping if you haven't tried it out before. Feel free to leave a comment down below with any questions or message me on Twitter. Join the Discord if you're really interested. We talk about stuff like that a lot in there. Really good method to do. It's really, really simple. Everyone can take advantage of it. But please, I implore you more than anything else, don't, if you want, say, and just 86 for training, don't go on the auction house. Just filter by 86s and buy the first one on there. At least filter down team by team and, you know, find one that's cheaper than what they're selling for on there. You'll save yourself thousands of coins, hundreds of thousands of coins during the course of a whole Madden season if you do that. I guarantee it. You will never find a very good price on there. They don't sit around long enough. If it's a good price, somebody's gonna have bought it up already. So make sure you do that at least. Alright guys, that's going to do it for my 2020 sniping video. I hope that helps anyone that's new and is new to the world of sniping. Again, let me know if you have any questions, if you want me to make a follow-up video with any more details or other filters. There's a lot of different filters that people use. Those are the two that I use the most. The team by team is, like I said, the primary one that I use. But there are a lot of other filters out there that people do use. So definitely, if you find one that you like, comment down below. Let me know what filters you like. So like I do in all my videos, I wanted to shout out people who supported my previous videos. Some of the same people, Nick at SCF Dab, Danny Dimes for Offensive Rookie of the Year at Jared_Reeves. And I've asked this guy how to say his name on Discord. He won't tell me. So it's Midnight Hayabusa at J200120006. You need to get less zeros in your name. And then on YouTube, Eagles UK. So thanks a lot, guys, for the support. Again, go join the Discord if you want to chat with some of those guys. I don't have a one-liner yet to say at the end of my video. I changed my name from Incredibly Average Show to Wizard of Wise. So if you'll have anything you can think of, let me know. I'll probably add one at the end of the video. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.